What's going on, guys? So another question that I get asked is, multiple dogs, you've just got a puppy, it's out of control, it keeps messing around with your other dog, all this kinds of stuff. So this video is primarily for households of multiple dogs, or you've got a dog and you're thinking about getting a puppy. So a little bit of advice. So if you have another dog in the house and you're thinking of getting another puppy, ask yourself, why do you want another puppy? If your answer is so it's company for the other dog, then that is the wrong reason to get another puppy. Right, so that's what most people want, is they want another dog for their other dog to play with, and typically that other dog is not very well trained, so it's a recipe for disaster, should we say. When you are looking at getting a second dog, your first dog needs to be well trained, understand rules, understand boundaries, have a good communication system built in. If your dog is not well behaved, then chances are your puppy is going to pick up every bad habit from the other dog and is probably going to be a nightmare. Second point I want to make is, when you get a new puppy, hold off from letting it interact with your current dog for as long as possible. A lot of mistakes people make is they let their dogs interact straight away, and then what they don't do is they don't take time to train both dogs individually. So what this leads to is the puppy not building its own personality, and it kind of hides behind the personality traits and stuff of the other dog that you have in the house. So this is why my advice for crate training is going to come up again. So you need to make sure that dog number 1 is crate trained, dog number 2 when you bring it in is crate trained, and you train them separately so they get used to being around each other and seeing you train each other, because they're going to be in their crates, but you're getting them out one-to-one, and you're having that one-to-one sort of quality time with them. Now, I would do that for as long as possible before you introduce them and let them just like play with each other, because if you do it too early, they're going to find they're going to find fun away from you, which is going to ruin your engagement with the dog. So if you let them meet too early, they're just going to be hurling it round the house trying to fight each other. Then when you take them out on a walk, they're just going to be into each other's business the whole time, and again, they're not going to have enough time to build their own personalities and be independent and look to you as the handler to make decisions. The puppy is generally going to look to the other dog to make decisions, and if that other dog isn't very well trained, then it's going to be a bad time, basically. So long story short, if you want another dog, make sure your first dog is very well trained, ideally crate trained, has a good communication system layered in, and just is a nice, well balanced dog. So no reactivity and all that kind of stuff. Nothing that you think your puppy could pick up from it. When you get your new dog, train them separately, completely separate. So I would feed them separately, I would train them separately for as long as possible. If you're on the crate system that I like to use, 2 hours in, 20 to 30 minutes out, make it so that you can get 1 hour at a time and train them, and then they go in their crates. Obviously you don't have to religiously stick to that crate system, that's just a skeleton, make it fit around your life. But have quality time with each dog, so that engagement to you stays and it becomes really important to them. Then when you do introduce them, don't just let them go full shebang, play with each other. You need to make slow interactions. Try having one on like a place bed while you're training the other one, and then swap them over. If they don't have a place command, teach the place command. I've got a video in my thing about how to teach a place command. You could have one back tied to a place so they have to stay there. And it teaches them impulse control while you're training the other one, and vice versa, and then they understand like the rules and boundaries and all that kind of stuff, and then they look to you to make their next decision versus the other dog. So yeah, that's just a small video that I just wanted to just put into play about how, or if I was to get another dog, how I would introduce it. Don't get another dog just so your other dog has another dog to play with. You should play with your dog. Your dog doesn't need other dogs to play with. Your dog wants to interact with you, be handled by you, have fun with you, be with you and your family. It doesn't want another dog to wrestle with, play with, all that kinds of stuff, because it's just going to be a recipe for disaster, especially if that dog is not well trained. So yeah, hope you found this video useful. Again, lots more videos on my channel, so check them out. If there is something that you do want, or you feel like you need to work on and you want some advice on, drop me a message. I'll do a video on it. I'll give you free advice, whatever. You have options to work with me one-to-one. I can travel halfway to meet you, or to you to meet you, or we can train online. So if any of those are interest you, then go for it. If not, take the free advice, ask questions, and let's move forward with some really well trained, good, balanced dogs.